Hi guys, welcome. We got some guests from far away that are actually coming into our meeting. We're trying to step it up a little bit and use some technology. And hey guys, hopefully this works out. We're going to do a little presentation here tonight about a great opportunity, and thanks for coming out. My name is Tony DePaula. I'm from Manalapan, New Jersey. I retired from the state police a few years ago, and Sadri had showed me this in this room, and I got involved, and that's what I stayed. I stayed involved for a couple of years, and in 2013, in the summer, I really became committed to it, and a lot of things started making sense. A lot of information really stuck and sank in, and hopefully we can have some impact on your thoughts on this particular opportunity tonight. Like I said, the name of the business is Veridian. It was founded about 6 years ago by Michael Folkwest, and it's based on 3 trends: energy choice, green living, and network marketing. Michael Folkwest is the CEO of the company, and he did win Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year back in 2012, and you can see the type of folks that have also won that award. Okay, we're talking about the guy from Amazon, the guys from Google, the guy from Starbucks. So this is the real deal, and in fact, he had founded a parent company called Creus Energy years after he founded Veridian, to make Veridian a bigger brand and to gain more national scale. And with the acquisition of Tri-Eagle in Texas that was just announced this past week, Veridian is close to now, not Veridian, but Creus, which Veridian is a part of, is now part of it's now a $1 billion brand, okay? And it is a publicly traded company. When you do your due diligence and take another look at this, that's something real neat to know. And the other thing that's exciting about going into some place the size of Texas, which is, you know, maybe there's some rumors that we'll be going there this summer, the opportunity is tremendous. It's a huge state. We're also, as you'll see, in California and going into California for a second product, so we're starting to get into these big states. And like I said, this company is just barely 6 years old. So the first trend is energy choice or energy deregulation. As you can see almost, you know, half of the country right now is deregulated in one sort or the other. Okay, whether they say your electricity supply is deregulated or your natural gas supply is deregulated, you can see it's about half of the country. Okay, and then each year a few other states become deregulated, and we'll show you exactly where Veridian's footprint is. But Bill Gates called the deregulation of the utilities the greatest transfer of wealth in this country's history. What he means is that the pile of money that sits with the utilities, they can no longer profit off of that supply. They make a lot of money on the delivery and the administrative end of it. And with the advent of the third-party supplier, which Veridian is, and there are many others, that money, that $500 billion, has to go over to this pile. And you know, it's going to go from this pile to this pile, whether we're involved or not. And you know, that's a decision that many people in this room, many people outside of this room have made a decision to be a part of that transfer. And what happens here is nothing spectacular. It's really an innocuous decision for someone to choose more responsible energy, and I'll get into that in a second, and choose a supplier that's going to protect you price-wise over the next few years. And the only thing that changes is a one-liner on the bill. You continue to be serviced by the utility, billed by the utility, and if there was ever something to maintain, the utility continues to maintain the lines and restore your power if there was ever a power outage. And we have 2 products with electricity. It's Everyday Green and 100% Pure Green. And in either case, you can choose a Freedom Fixed, okay? And that's a 3-year fixed over time, which means you'll get a rate now, and it'll be good for 3 years. And at the end of that term, if the utility actually costs less than what you paid with Veridian, you get the difference. You get paid 110%. You get a rebate. So you got a guarantee that, hey, the rates are going to go up. Why don't you have some price certainty over the next 3 years and make a responsible choice and go with Veridian. The second plan is if people want to see some savings right off the get-go, say if they, hey, it looks like I'm going to be moving in a year, and why don't I see some savings up front? Then they go into the 6-month auto lock, which means they'll get 5% off of the utility price index for the first 6 months, and then it'll automatically lock without any stress about going into a variable rate, and they'll automatically fix into that initial rate. So that's what that's there for. And then obviously, you know, in most of our markets we have natural gas. And this is the blueprint of where Veridian is in with the commodity piece, electricity and natural gas. And you can see it's almost the entire Northeast, and then Ohio and Illinois out in the Midwest. And this is a little bit about our solar.
America is changing from the top down, right before our eyes, and not a moment too soon. We're moving away from costly fossil fuels that pollute our air and water and harm the environment, toward affordable, 100% clean energy from the sun, produced right on our rooftops. And in the process, we have the potential to slash our electric bills, boosting our nation's economy, and helping the planet in the single most important way that private citizens can. It's amazing what solar panels on a roof can do, for your budget, for the earth, and for your life. In just a few minutes, you'll learn how you can make good money simply by being a part of the solar conversation. It's easy. And given today's high electricity rates, it's a conversation that people are genuinely interested in having. The truth is, they're doing a lot more than just talking. In just 18 months between 2012 and 2013, more Americans went solar than in the entire 30 years prior. In fact, right now, someone in America is going solar every 3 minutes. Experts predict that by 2016, someone will be going solar every 80 seconds. By 2020, more than 3 million Americans could have solar on their homes, 100 times as many as in 2006. But we're still right at the beginning. Only 1% of the US population has gone solar to date. In other words, there's a wide open opportunity to share the news, and Veridian helps you make the most of it. We've removed all of the barriers to going solar and made the entire process as simple as 1, 2, 3. Our solar customers receive free installation of their solar power system, plus locked-in low rates for the whole contract term, no matter how high utility rates rise. There's no upfront costs and no hidden charges, just the potential for decades of savings that look better every year. No paperwork or permitting hassles either. Plus, Veridian Solar customers receive free maintenance, free monitoring, and free replacements and repairs on their solar systems for a full 20 years. When it comes to minimizing the impact of your home energy use, going solar is the single most effective move a homeowner can make. Imagine what a world of good it would do if every qualified homeowner did. You can help make that happen. Even now, solar is a $120 billion industry in America alone. The growth potential is enormous, not just in the sunny states, but across the country, which is very good news for people who are looking to make a difference and make some very good money too. Veridian has the tools that make it easy, the earning potential that makes it worthwhile, and the flexibility that lets you participate at the level that feels right for you. Whether you'd like to simply refer friends and family as a Veridian Solar Rewards partner, or start your own business as a Veridian associate, you can play a role in the solar industry and earn extra money to spend on anything you like. We can offer you so much because in 2009, Veridian created the whole category of affordable, responsible energy. Not just solar, but green electricity and responsible natural gas too. Today, we're ranked in the top 50 globally by direct selling news and have transformed thousands of lives. And the best part is, you don't have to be a solar expert to take advantage of our combined experience. We've got you covered every step of the way. And we know how powerful a message we have. Our company is living proof of how quickly it spreads. Just one referral can generate so many more as people tell their friends, who pass it on and pay it forward. Talk to your Veridian associate about solar and how you can get involved. Be a friend. Help the planet. Change your life. Share the sun.
Somebody chooses to go solar in 2.5 minutes. About 6 months ago, it was every 3 minutes. And about 9 months ago, it was every 4 minutes. So this is starting to really happen at a grand scale. And if you're like unsure, like I was, is solar the right place to go? You got to go look at what Apple is doing, what they just did, and their commitment to go 100% renewable. Apple is one of the most valuable companies. They're not doing anything for the greater good. They're doing things for profit. You think Walmart is just doing things for the greater good, or are they doing things for profit? Walmart's going to a completely solar-driven generator themselves. Okay, so if these very, very monstrous companies are going in solar 100%, why wouldn't, Tony DePaula? So that's the way you gotta look at it, right? So what we do know is only 1% in this entire country have chosen to go solar. And we know that that's gonna change. We see it going down from 4 minutes to 2.5 minutes. It's starting to change rapidly. And with Veridian, you can become part of this change. As you can see, our market's here in the Northeast, okay, all the way down the Mid-Atlantic. And then we got a lot of action out west, okay? Oregon, California, Nevada, Arizona, and Hawaii. And the company we're partnered with is SolarCity. SolarCity has the biggest market share of all the solar companies in the United States of America. They have 40% of the market share as it stands right now. And they're, the chairman of the board is the modern day Einstein, Elon Musk. Business Person of the Year in 2013, as mentioned in Fortune magazine. And all we do as Veridian Associates, we ask our customers if they ever thought about solar, and if they did, ask them if they own their own home, if they spend about $100 on their electric bill a month, and do they have roof space with a little shading. And that's really our only part of the puzzle before we get paid a 20-year residual and up to a $500 bonus for each person that becomes a customer. And the consultation is absolutely risk-free and non-invasive. In fact, it's all done through Google Earth and an email or an email sent from your phone with their last utility bill to determine what type of usage they have. And here's just an illustration. I have a couple of illustrations here, which I know you probably can't see, and I apologize for that. This is Atlantic City Electric. The 18.4 represents the entire utility bill, what they pay, not just the supply, but the delivery, the taxes, all the reconciliation and transmission fees. And that utility bill averages out for this fella down in Atlantic City Electric $346 a month. If they go solar, okay, at 12.3, their utility bill and their solar payment goes down to $248. That's just all money, no money out of pocket. So that's a big difference. Now, if they wanted to go with a fixed rate, the confidence of going with a fixed rate, that payment goes from $346 to $298 the first year, okay? And we only know that, utility prices will continue to climb. Will continue to be nickel and dime. As more and more people go solar and get away from the utility, they're gonna have to nickel and dime. And the reason why it's a good time, and people say, I wanna wait, well, you know what? A lot of the subsidies are gonna run out at the end of 2016. And there may not be the money available to give these companies as incentives to stay in business. So the time, if there was ever a time, would be right now. That's why you can get a system. You can get a system with no money down, have it insured for 20 years, have it monitored for 20 years, get your inverter replaced after 8 years. You look at a lot of these other companies, and they don't do the little things like that. An inverter's maybe $8,000, $10,000. They're not going to be responsible for things like that. And this is a real extreme example. This is a real proposal from Boston. 24 cents is what this person pays their utility. So they're paying the utility $240 a month on average. If they go solar, okay, everything goes down to about $152 a month. That's a huge savings. That's a difference maker in a month. Okay? An extra $1,200 a year makes for a much brighter Christmas at the end. And green living is something we're all now familiar with, and maybe a lot of the people in this room grew up just throwing garbage out the window and couldn't care less, right? But things are changing, and this is a statistic, and this is the reality of it. The generation of electricity causes more pollution than all the other industries combined in the United States. Something I had no clue that was going on, but we live in a state where it's very pronounced. You land at Newark Airport and you see all the cogeneration plants down there in Linden and Elizabeth, and that's what's going on down there. And these are the people, and I'm not getting religious or political here, but these are very influential people in the world right now, and they're all behind this. That there has to be a change made. He almost his entire portfolio is in renewables, Bill Gates, and we can either go with that group of people, those type of thinkers, and say, hey, maybe they got it going, or we can go with Uncle Teddy, because Uncle Teddy says it's all a scam, right? So it's one way or the other. Veridian, by me recommending to my friends and family, and John and Sadri and John Pizzuro, what we've done as a collective, as a business, okay? Just by having people make a choice that it's something free to choose more responsible energy at a cost savings, because you get to choose it anyway, have taken 5 billion pounds of carbon out of the environment thus far. That's a huge, that's a huge commitment to renewables without even thinking about it. I mean, it's harder to take your recyclables down than to click that little thing on the website and say, I want to choose renewable energy rather than brown energy. And that's all we're doing. So network marketing is the distribution model that works best for this, because it's not a sexy product, right? It's not like, oh, I can get you this great electricity, you're not going to believe how wonderful it is. It's hard to wrap your arms around it, but if I got a friend of mine and I go up to Faro and I go, hey Faro, I need a favor. I need you to listen to me about this. You know, I know you buy your electricity from the utility, and what you can simply do is you can buy it from this company, Viridian, and it's going to be a more responsible choice because you're buying renewable energy, and you know what? You're going to save a few bucks over time. Would you mind helping me out and just filling this out on my website? It'll take you about a minute and a half. And what would you say, Faro? Yeah, you'd say absolutely. So that's the relationship piece of it. That's why it works, because Faro, okay, I got Faro out of trouble so many times, there's no way he's going to tell me no, right? So that's why this works, and that's why the customers will remain customers, because of relationships. And here's a little tidbit that goes through.
The world is changing faster than ever. What used to take decades is now taking years or even months.
What you see right now is the illusion that people have had for many decades and about the workplace being this secure place to work the rest of your life.
For the first time in the history of our nation, our children will not do as well as us.
We've seen our friends get laid off, we've been laid off, we've had our pay cut.
People are overworked and underpaid. They seem to have less time and less freedom. They live under constant pressure.
That's just going to be forced. And so even if your employer loves you, they may have to cut you. There's something wrong that on Monday morning, the heart attack rate increases by 35%.
Technology is accelerating, job security is declining. It just doesn't seem like the old models of making a living are as reliable as they used to be.
Every aspect of our lives, there's a better way out there, but we're still doing it the old way.
We live in the greatest country on the planet, and there are a lot of people sitting around complaining and being cynical.
Like, everyone's whining about this old model, and I'm like, why don't you leave it? Look at all this over here. Look at all this opportunity.
Since so much of our lives revolve around our work and the way we make our living, many people are thinking there just has to be a better way.
The biggest challenge facing our world today is not making money, is what are we going to do with all the displaced, unemployed people?
People are afraid that they're going to make the wrong decision. People are afraid of the unknown. People are afraid that maybe I don't have the skills.
Hey, sports fans. Industrial age is over. It's dead. It's dying. That's why going to school to get a job is an obsolete idea. A steady paycheck is an industrial age idea.
And I don't know about you, but this is true for me. This is definitely causes the most stress in my life. And this is the #1 stressor in America today. It continues to be. And this is what really, defines network marketing. Like I was telling you earlier, it took me a while to figure this out, but if you're have a business of your own and everything is on your back, the operations, the sales, the collections, everything, and you do great because it's the power of your own equity, how good you are at that. But if something happens to you, or if you want to stop for a while, what happens? The money stops. The income stops. And by duplicating yourself to some level, say bring 10 people into your business and have them do 10% each, well that's equivalent of you just going at it 100%, isn't it? And then when that thing builds to 100 people or 1,000 people doing anywhere between 1 to 10%, then this thing really becomes spectacular, this network marketing that I'm beginning to see very clearly, and we'll have some people up here in a moment to really talk about how clear it is to them now. Warren, Warren Buffett speaks about his 51 businesses, and the 3 businesses that he owns are network marketing companies, and he says that that is the best investment he's made. Warren Buffett, Donald Trump says, a pyramid scheme. Well, I'll tell you what a pyramid scheme is. Pyramid scheme is corporate America, where you got one guy on top, the CEO, making all the decisions and making all the money. And he says if he was to lose it all, again, he would choose network marketing, choose a great network marketing company, and just go at it. And then Bill Gates really mimics the same thing that Donald Trump says. If he'd be given the chance to start all over again, he would choose network marketing. That's his distribution model. So for the next few days, the end of February, it's a $99 enrollment fee. Really, you're buying a renewable energy franchise with the ability to market solar in California, Oregon, the whole Northeast, and all the markets that will soon come into our grasp. You know, we talked about Texas earlier and some other commodities in California later on in the year. And the $99 just brings you into a family of complete support and giving you tools. And I think the most exciting piece is when you talk about, and this is $300 ordinarily. So for $300, you actually get access to $1 billion company and it's all its resources. You don't have to go out and hire people and get insurance and pay for any overhead. What you're basically doing is they got that covered with that $1 billion umbrella, and that thing just keeps growing. And that's the support we're talking about. And we can easily get this money back, okay? There's ways to quickly get the money back that we invested. So very simply, in 8 weeks, if we have 8 people, and one of them could include ourselves, choose responsible electricity, we can get $200 back. If we have 16 people in 8 weeks, including ourselves, choose responsibly produced electricity and save money over time, we'll get $350 back. And if we do that rather quickly, 16 customers in 4 weeks, we can get $600 just for that behavior. And it gets better than that. For every 10 people that we recommend, say in the month of March, we recommend that 10 people get a risk-free consultation. Veridian will give you a bonus of $30 each, whether they sign a contract or not. If those same folks do end up signing a contract, it's $500 for each contract, plus a 20-year residual every month you're going to get paid, like right in White Christmas. You're just getting paid every month, the 10th of the month. And that's where the magic happens. What's happening probably on March 1st, and they're beta testing this today, is the Solar Rewards program, where when I come into the business, okay, I can now have people all over the place, whether in Veridian footprints or not, come into a business for free and recommend people in their neighborhoods, if we have solar there, they get solar consultations. And then if they get a solar system put on their house for free, my aunt in Las Vegas, who's retired, she'll get $300. The cool part though, is I'll also get $100, and I'll get a 20-year residual because that is going to be my personal customer for the next 20 years. And so on and so forth. And if that person in the neighborhood in Nevada recommends that to somebody else, the same thing triggers back to me. I get the $100 bonus, I get another customer in my organization, and this thing builds like a gigantic spider. So you could build a tremendous business and put 100 associates in your business for solar for free. Probably starting on March 1st, that program will kick off. And they'll get a website and everything. They'll be able to monitor everything. And you'll get to monitor all the behavior that's going on if they're referring people. So that's an additional thing that's just coming out, and it's very exciting. And just like I said, it's, if you're a Veridian associate, you can get paid up to $500 for each contract. They get $300. They don't get a referral fee, and they don't get any residuals. They don't get involved with the commodities or anything like that. They only get the $300 when there's a solar installed on a home. So now we're going to get into the Veridian career path, and we'll be real quick. This is just, you start from nothing, and then you build this organization. And the cool thing about it, as you can see, is you only need to reach the top ranks of the company, 25 personal customers, and that's that number going down here. And once you reach like kind of the rank of director, it's a couple of $100 a month to a couple of $1,000s a month, depending on what you have. And to be a director and above, you have to have 250 customers, and then you build to 2,000 customers, and that's the director rank. So if we have any directors in the room, if we could just come up to the front of the room. Directors? All directors. Just Neff, tell us your name, where you're from, what do you do for a living?
My name is Neff Flores. I'm a real estate agent right here in Freehold. Well, this is not Freehold, but down in Freehold. And I've been in the business for a while here already, a couple of years. And this is great. It's helping me. As a matter of fact, it's paying for my car. It's really what you want, right? So my next thing is going to be they're going to be paying for my my mortgage, and keeps on going. And that's what you got to do. Simple as that. The solar panels is the ones kicking off.
Art Quackenbush from Manalapan. I'm in the construction field. I got in this business to build some residual income, help my group build residual income, and have a whole big network of people with me doing good.
Thanks, Art.
Keith Seuss, I'm a detective with the state police. I'm actually a lead director, and hopefully this will be the last time I'll be saying this. So I'm really close to senior director. I just want to say something. I got a couple minutes here.
Sure.
A couple years ago,
you have a gun. You can say whatever you want.
A couple years ago, we started in this room, and I remember we were facing that way. And we have a small crowd today. Usually we have a big crowd here. People have other commitments sometimes. We have a lot of great meetings going on. But I remember I sat in the back of the room. Neff was with me because he was my first associate. He was actually a guest at the time. And they used to put this up there too. It was pretty much the same setup. Numbers have changed a little bit. And this was my goal right here, director. Because we always think small, And I look at this thing now, and I'm like 70 meters away from right here, from being a senior director. And not in a million years I thought I'd be going down these ranks, because you're so busy in life, you don't know how powerful this opportunity is. And now, a couple years later, I'm sitting here, I'm almost senior director, and I'll pass executive director, I get up to partner, I know I will. But most importantly is my team, bringing my team along with me, especially this trip in Bermuda. Mick Elisa is doing an unbelievable job, especially she's been killing it this week, and the rest of my team here. But basically what I'm trying to say is, if you're sitting there and you're thinking about, oh, who do I know, can I do this? You saw the video, Eric Worre, make a decision. Get involved. For $100, I mean, that's crazy. I think I paid $4.99 at the time when we got involved. And I think it should be more. I was talking to, I just started a Texas line, by the way. Fastest associate ever joined my business, took Meridian University, showed the plan that night, had another associate join on him all in one day. So this guy's hungry, he's in Texas. And I never in a million years thought I'd have a line in Texas. Mikey here started a line in Massachusetts, a line in Pennsylvania, line in New York, I got a line in Delaware. Never in a million years I thought I'd be over this. We just keep expanding. So this is really happening. I never owned a traditional business. Don't have any sales experience. When people say, why are we doing sales? I'm scared of sales. We get that a lot. I don't know anybody. You don't know who you're going to meet in this business. I didn't know, I know my brother Neff. I didn't know Big John. I didn't know Cedric. I knew Tony. He was my boss. Who used to be, he was in the pyramid. He was a pain in the ass of the state police. He used to tell me to go out there and do this. And now we're in this business together. Now, making some money, and hopefully I'll pass him too. With all respect. But basically, that's what I'm saying. Just make a decision. It's $99. It's a $99 decision. Get involved, and if it doesn't work out for you, it might not work out for you. But also remember, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. I read a great quote yesterday on Facebook. It said, the mile long network marketing, the mile in network marketing, there's no traffic in the mile network marketing. Basically saying a lot of people get involved, they hit a couple roadblocks and they quit. There's never traffic in the mile in network marketing. So think about that. You're gonna hit barriers and you're gonna get there, but it's happening. It's happening. It's crazy. John keeps telling me, and Lela, they keep telling me every Sunday. John calls me all the time. He's yelling at me. Say, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. And it's great. It's a great feeling when. And yesterday I got a check from Solar City. To this day, I have no idea why they sent me $250 in the mail yesterday. But I got the check in the mail. I guess I'll go cash it and do something with it. But it's amazing when you open up that. We get paid online, but Solar City sent me a check for $250. I opened it up. I thought it was like, oh, Solar City sent me something. It was a $250 check. So that's huge. I mean, the checks will keep coming. But thanks for your time. All right?
Thanks, Dave, that was awesome. And like, I was never involved with network marketing. I don't think Dave was either, were they?
No.
Right? So I do talk to some people about, they have some involvement or prior involvement in network marketing. And what I learned is that they have to sell a quota every month, and there's some pressure to do that. But in this, that it really doesn't exist. And the reason is because, let me just take a survey real quick. Who in this room has electricity? Raise your hand. You don't? You do. And you probably all pay your bill, right? So every time you pay your bill, it's like you're on auto ship, okay? So that's what you're doing. You are selling it every month, okay? It's every time they pay the bill, you resold it, and we get paid on the 10th of every month. Every time all these people, as a collective, we're talking thousands of people. And we'll get to speak with people now that have tens of thousands of people in their organization that pay those bills every month, and that's what they get paid, tens of thousands of dollars every month, and so on and so forth. And these are real numbers. I'm never going to lie to anybody in this room, because I've seen the pay stubs of all these folks that drift all the way up here, and it's the real deal, I saw a pay stub for $379,000. I almost fell off my floor, and that was for 1 month's work, okay? Because this is a residual process. So what I'd like to do is I bring a couple of people up, my sponsor and then his sponsor and his sponsor's wife together, to come up and just kind of close this thing out together. I'd like to introduce a partner in this business who just got a free Audi, and we can all check it out after that, right? An Audi Q7. His name is Sadre Jambalai. He also is owns this restaurant with his family. And I'd like to bring up the power couple, dynamic duo, Diamond Partners, Lela and John Piante.
Yes.
Come on. Hey, Lela. Ladies first. Sadre?
Okay, the little guys first. We'll save power hitters for later.
All right, you want me to go?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Guys, I got involved 4 years ago. Big John introduced this to me, not because I was looking for a business. I have plenty of businesses, but he told me it's something big. It's energy deregulation, and that's all I needed to know. My next step was to learn what energy deregulation is all about, and basically to take advantage of this opportunity. It's the biggest transfer of wealth in our lifetime. That's why I'm here. I'm here for two reasons: to tap into some of that wealth and to buy myself some time freedom. I'm very busy. If need be, I'm at my businesses. I'm in my office 6 or 7 days a week, and I've been doing that for 18 years. I hate work. I really do, guys. And for people that own a business, you don't retire. You die on the job. How do you walk away from a big investment when you know if you're not there, you're going to lose your business? So if you own a business, there's no such thing as retiring. This is my way out here, guys. It's residual. It's something that I'm not constantly chasing my next job the way I do with my traditional businesses. This is a business where you build today and it pays you residually month after month. And this is happening with me or without me. Why not with me? This thing here is all about being able to build a big team. It doesn't matter what products we have. Can you build a big team? Can you promote meetings? Can you promote events? When you start going to meetings like this or events and you see 20 people, 30 people, 50 people, 100 people in the room, and they're your downlines, now you know you're doing the business the right way. If you keep coming to these meetings and you're the only one, don't get disappointed. It happens to all of us. Recruit more people. You have yet to find the right people, but once you find the right people in this business, it's all game is over, guys. There's a lot of Big Johns out there. If you land a Big John or two, you're going to retire very, very, very soon. There's a lot of Bob Quintanas out there. There's a lot of Tony DePaulas. You guys just have to find them. If you keep bringing people into the business, you know what? You brought the wrong people. Keep going until you find the right people. This business is for hungry people. This business is for winners. for people that don't quit. And my God, does this pay? This is incredible. Sometimes I go 2 weeks without doing anything with Meridian, but that 10th of the month comes, I know I'm getting a lot of money in the bank account for something that I started building 4 years ago. So as far as opportunity, this is second to none. This is real. Don't even bother with your due diligence. We have attorneys in here. I have a congressman in my business, law enforcement, the most skeptical people. When I introduced this to Tony, his due diligence was me. He wanted to see if I was a criminal or something close to that. That's when he realized I was pretty clean, he joined. So guys, get involved, take advantage of this opportunity. This is a business you can own for $99. That's willable and sellable. Thanks.
It was so good, Sasha. I have nothing to say. This business is so serious, and to be honest with you, when we were first introduced to it with it, I said, yeah, it looks like a really good idea. Let's try it. And basically, yeah, I believed in it. It looked really good, but you know, as a business, I'm used to trading my time for money. I was a W-2 employee. Then I became my own boss, so to speak. And this was just an experiment for me on a certain level. John and I did show this to everyone, and then something really amazing started to happen. People began to respond to it, and we began growing our team. And so now 4 years later, we're experiencing those times that Sajay was talking about when we walk into a meeting and there are so many people in our business, and that's a really, really good feeling when you've built a team that good, which is not only in your own state, but in other states that we visit, and you know, you have the room is yours. So that's real exciting too. The seriousness of this business, you've got to equate to the people that we've seen on the screen, which was, you know, the politics, energy policies, you know, successful entrepreneurs, and most certainly the Pope. Because we all have to be good stewards of our environment. And when someone understands the value proposition of what we're trying to do, there's no way that they can say no. No matter how skeptical they are. It's your job just to make them understand. If they want to say no at that point, there's nothing further that you can say. But just to give them that basic information, if you can communicate that clearly to the person that you're presenting it to, there's no way that they can say no. And there's no way that you should ever feel badly about that presentation. So,
I want to comment on what David said. David said I called him up and I was yelling at him this week. He's partially right with that comment. I care so much for David DeJesus, and I care so much for every one of yous in my business because I think it's a family that we're involved with. Like no other business where you can bond with people and get close to people. But my competitive edge is so great. I didn't have the skills to do this business early. I just said I can't fail. I wasn't striving for success. I just feared. I feared even thinking about failing. And that's why we became successful in this business. When David said I was yelling at him, I was shaking him up, and I was shaking him up for a reason. I know his potential more than he knows his own potential. And this is all about belief, right? It's about belief in ourselves when we come into this business. And I know that he has the capabilities to be where we're at right now in a year and a half, 2 years. And what does that mean for a guy like David and his family? It means that he basically worked a business for 4 to 5 years, that he's financially free for the rest of his life. Not a worry in the world. His young children and his beautiful wife are financially free to live the life of their dreams for the rest of their life. So when you really take a step back and look at what you're involved in, and look at all the other people that are successful, and use them as your benchmark, you gotta really ask yourself, what did they do different that I'm not doing? They showed a video more times than you. They had more hunger than you. You don't need to be a tremendous business person. You don't need to be a CEO of a company. You just got to have the heart and the vision. Because when you have the heart and the vision, you will take action. The problem is, life moves so fast, and we're going in so many different directions, and we're going through peaks and valleys every day of our life. We don't have time to focus. We lose our focus, and I can say that because at times I lost my focus, and I need to get back on track. Because too many people come into this business and they're on fire for the first 30 days. They're gonna do this. They're like somebody going into a karate class. A buddy of mine teaches karate, and there's 100 kids. And the instructor says, how many of you want to be black belts? And every little kid in the room says, I do, I do, I do. And 6 months later, there's 4 kids left standing. Because they did not have the staying power. When you look at this opportunity, we all know it's big. We know that solar is not going to stop 1% penetration in the United States. We know that green energy is a trend that's not going to reverse. We know it's a recession-proof business where all we're doing is helping people and educating people to go green, make this a better earth, and save money. So the question comes back, why is everybody not doing this? Fear of rejection? Fear that their social circle is going to penetrate them. Believing that the people closest to them are looking out for their best interest. Because my wife and I both found out that some of the people we thought were our friends were not, and it hurt. It hurt, right? It's a kick in the gut when you go to somebody and say, oh, slam dunk. Hey, Joe, Linda, I need you to help me out. Let me get your bill. We really could use your help. We're the green energy company, making a difference for the future of your children, my children. Save you a little bit of money, not life-changing. And you'd really be, we don't want to do that. It hurts. And that's where people get stuck, of somebody else's opinion. Be your own thinkers in this business. You know, and it really comes down to one thing. You know, Mikey Ayers. Did Mikey have to leave?
Steven Spielberg.
He's
Mikey Ayers, the guy that got rejected probably by his first 20 people he approached. Kept coming to the trainings at the house, kept showing up to the meetings whether or not he had nobody with him or not, kept getting more confidence, kept building more belief. And now the man's on fire. Now the man's going to people with the utmost confidence and saying, detached from the outcome, working off his list, saying, I need to show you something. I need to show you something. I need to show you something. Because in this business, what you lack in skills, you make up for in numbers. Anybody that shows that 13-minute video to 100 to 120 people within a 4-month period, I can guarantee you, if you do it the right way and you posture with confidence, you'll be retired in 3 to 4 years for the rest of your life. So it goes to, you say to yourself, kids are going to college, right? And back in the day, you say, go to college, get a great education, come out of college with a mountain of debt, go to work for somebody at the bottom of the totem pole making nothing, and work your way up in corporate America to have somebody prejudice against you, tap you on the shoulder, and tell you you're out of a job. When you can build a business right here 4 to 5 years that'll set you free for the rest of your life. This is the college that people should be looking at. Getting in business with Michael Falquist and Elon Musk, the #1 businessman in the world. So when it comes down to it, folks, we need to make adjustments with ourselves. Because all this business is about putting a smile on your face, telling somebody else you'll show them the way, that you'll support them, that you'll mentor them, that you'll hold their hand, that you'll help them. That's all this business is about. You don't need to be smart. You don't need to be IT literate. You just have to have the heart and the will to win and the heart to share it with a lot of other people. Because there's going to be a lot of people, and I'm seeing it now. My wife and I, over the last 3 weeks, had 100, almost 200 associates come in our business. Because all we did is showed a handful of people how to duplicate, and you're going to find aggressive people. You're going to find people that are so sick of the pain that they've had, they're going to move towards the pleasure by taking action because they care that much about their family and they care that much about their future. 4 to 5 year plan, plant your flag in the ground, write a list of about as many people as you could possibly write, and realize that you're giving the person you go to a potential gift of life if they so choose to accept it as that. That's all it is. We're giving people a gift, like Tony said, to be involved in a $1 billion company, to be your own CEO, to take control of your life part-time, whether it's 6 hours a week, 8 hours a week, 12 hours a week. The more time you put in, the more reward you're going to get out of it. But I'll tell you this, as a traditional business owner, and there's a couple of them here, Kevin, Artie, a lot of them in the room, you can't work this kind of magic with a traditional business. You can't. There's nothing but stress, aggravation, and your time is always invested. This will pay you, like Sajre said, every 10th of the month as it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It's there for a lifetime of reward. It's what you want to do with it. It's how you want to promote it. The people that are going haywire now are the people that just had enough and sick of what life has to give to them and realize that this is their future. And once you make that decision and never stop, this opportunity will change your life. Thank you.
Well, thanks everybody, and hopefully it was impactful, but we're really not going to go anywhere. So if you're here and there's a number you hear for the first time, feel free to pick anybody's brain who you want to talk to, and ask us whatever you got to ask us. Get on some solid footing. We can point you in the right direction to do some due diligence if that's what you'd like to do. And other than that, there'll be a meeting in Ocean tomorrow if you're interested, if you got some folks down there.
#1 income.
What's that?
#1 income or
Yeah, Joel Chiagrosso will be in Ocean as a guest speaker. And then down in Pennsauken, New Jersey, you can check the calendar. Frank Marone, his partner in the business, will be in Pennsauken.
Country Club.
At the Country Club. And then Sunday they'll be training at Big John's and Lella's home. And then we'll be back here again. This is a ritual every Wednesday. So thanks again, and stick around if you do have any questions.
All right, guys, thanks.
That was cool. That was really good, man.
Yeah.
Where does